We're walking along. We're by the Sea of Galilee, and there's a gutter running along the walkway here.
Oh, it's blooming.
Oh, the olive tree is blooming. It looks beautiful. And there's thermal spring running down the side of the laneway here. Steam coming off it on a nice, cool, breezy day.
All right, you guys, today is the day where the tour changes. Shuki has been very good to lead us along, to get us going. For 2 days, he's done an awesome job. Has he done an awesome job?
Yes, he's done an awesome job.
But now, you guys are going to help create the rest of the tour. And here's how. Before we go to this spot up here, I want to ask a couple questions. Who can tell me something about the Jewish community, let's say in 300, 400 AD? We have experts here. Tell us something about the Jewish community. Where were they? Where did they go? What were they doing? Anyone tell me anything? I told Shuki that we have a group of experts that are going to take over the tour. You guys are going to tell me something. Tell me something about the Jewish community. Where were they in 300, 400? Now you come here, my friend. I've been waiting for you all the time. Come here. Tell the people what you just said.
They were living around here because they got kicked out from Jerusalem, the temple.
Jerusalem and Judea, yes. They were kicked out of there, yes. Can we give a hand to my friend? Yeah. Somebody's got some guts in the 3-2 tour. So they were living here, but Shuki's going to tell us who else was here. So why don't you start right there?
Right here?
Yes.
Let's remind the people where here is.
Tell them where here is. I'm
okay.
sorry, Jonah's the radio man.
Good morning, Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
We're at the seashore of the Sea of Galilee in Hamat, Tiberia. Hamat, you know the word in Hebrew, Ham, hot springs of Tiberia. Yeah, we are going back to the 3rd century. When the Jews were kicked out from Jerusalem and Judea, so a lot of concentration of Jews came to live in Galilee. So a lot of knowledge came to Galilee. No more simple person at Jesus' time from the villages. Group of priests, others, aristocracy, they all came to here, and Tiberia became to be important city. Something that happened here at the end of the 2nd century. They signed here a book, not a one book, a series of books. It's about 6 books of them. The Mishnah. Yeah. What is the Mishnah? I think we'll find a place to sit down, then we'll talk.
Yes.
Okay?
Now, here's where the controversy is going to come in. We're going to talk about the Mishnah. We're going to talk about history, but we have to see something to set the context. Has anyone ever been here before? Oh, good. Let's go.
Have you heard about Sanhedrin?
Sanhedrin.
So Sanhedrin, or we say Sanhedrin. And
We say Sanhedrin, we say Sanhedrin.
yeah, it's the same.
Potato.
The old 70 guys that they sat together and they made the new rules, the new laws of Israel. They had the office near against the temple, and there is no temple anymore. Jerusalem is not Jerusalem anymore. It's Elia Capitolina Romana. It's a Roman city, forbidden for Jews. So Sanhedrin moved to Galilee with the others. And they found place to be the central place of Galilee. It was Tiberia. After many discussions, because Tiberia was another city forbidden for Jews. But it's so weird. It's forbidden for Jews because the rabbi said it's forbidden for Jews. The son of Herod built the city for the Romans. Tiberion, the name of Tiberius Caesar. And he built it above the ancient cemetery. You saw part of it yesterday. The Jews were so crazy. You cannot do that. So they ordered the Jews not to live here. They built the city in the year 18, right? When Jesus was passing close by, he saw constructions, he saw new city. He never got in Tiberia. Why? Because the rabbi said not to. And the Jews never got into it. It became to be a paganic city, Roman city. This is why the mayor of Tiberias today is really angry about Jesus. Because Jesus didn't get into the city. There is not even one holy place for Christians in the city. Not even a church. Okay, but this is kind of a joke today, right? Jesus didn't get into the city because he was Jew and he obeyed. But in the year 200, Rabbi Yehuda Nasidu, it was the leader of the Jews in Galilee, he understood with other rabbis, if the Jews won't get into the city, we're going to lose the place. We come to be non-Jew city. So they cancel it and Jews fled into the city. It's a good location. Look at the view. You can eat fish. You can eat the St. Peter fish, even if you're Jew. Okay, it's kosher. And they settled down here in ancient Tveria, which was not excavated yet. But we know the site. All the open side that you see there, legally you cannot build it because we know this is the place of ancient Tveria. It is waiting for the future to come to excavate there. But we did it here, and we found a synagogue. But we know that in this city, the sages, after the Sanhedrin, was the sages, they were sitting down here, and they completed the Mishnah, and they signed it. So what is the Mishnah? Yeah. This is the important part of this tour here today. It's the most important part of today. The Jews, till that time, till the destruction of the temple, they were like, let's say like Catholics. They go to the church and the priest knows what to do. That's okay. You, the Jew, you don't have to know. You have to know many things. But for anything, they had to go to the temple. There's a priest wait for them. They will sacrifice something, you know, and the whole smell covering the temple, the smell of the barbecue, I love it. And the high priest take the parts for himself, and this is for God. It was wonderful. But suddenly we don't have it anymore. How the Jews supposed to continue living without the central point of the Jewish nation? Who will decide? How will decide? Well, they spread all over, not only in Galilee. A community in Alexandria and Damascus, in Athens, or whatever. Even in Spain at the time. So, if those people will wait for a temple or somebody to decide for them, the Judaism will disappear. This is why Judaism made another way, a crossroads, you know, and the Jews decided to go to another kind of Judaism, the book. We had the Bible, but the priest hold the Bible, okay? Now it's supposed to be for everyone that's supposed to read, to know what to do, how to do. They collected all the knowledge in the Mishnah. Now you have the book, you can have it everywhere in the world and continue living like a Jew without temple, because there is no temple anymore. This is the principle. The Jews got changed, totally changed, because we don't have any ritual things anymore. Some of them, to eat the matzah in Pesach and to sacrifice the cock in Yom Kippur. We don't do that. Anyway, we put money for the poor instead. But all the ritual of the temple, sacrifice the animals, to take the goat to Azazel, to push it from the rock with all the sins of Israel, the para aduma, the red cow, all of it, we don't have it anymore. Now, Jews are nation of a book, halakha. Halakha in Hebrew is like lalechet, to go. The way you have to go, halakha. You have everything in the book without ritual things, because you cannot do that. So Judaism now is totally different. We have the book, we have the laws, we can discuss, we can argue, and we did it here in Tiberias. There were schools, two different schools of rabbis, one Bet Shammai, one Bet Hillel. Bet Shammai, they were much harder. It's written, it is cutted, you have to do. And then Bet Hillel said, no, we have to learn, we have to understand. There might be another solution for that. So, who's right? We'll still discuss it till today. That's it.
Now, y'all, here's what I want to ask you to do. Quietly. I want you to do this quietly. I want you to imagine that you're me. You're by yourself. Well, actually, I wasn't by myself. I actually had somebody with my little camera. And you come to this place, and you're all around this area, and this is not a normal tour spot, but you come to this place and you're walking. And this place is called Tiberias, and you know about Caesar, the calendar creator. You know about the Sanhedrin being in this area. And as it pertains to time, our Torah, our Tetragrammaton, I want you all to quietly go over there and look at the synagogue that has been uncovered. And I want you to quietly look at it. And then after you look at it, we're going to meet where the Sanhedrin went, in the crescent of the moon area over there, in the little half circle. Then we're going to talk about what you saw. So go.
Yesterday the air was a little hazier and I couldn't see Mount Hermon from here, but then this morning I opened the window.
Because of the wind, you have a very good visibility.
We have excellent visibility and we can see right across the sea to Mount Hermon with snow on top, and at the moment we're looking down at the Synagogue of Tiberias, and there's something unusual here.
Yeah, what? What do you see here?
Well, this is a zodiac, right?
This is the zodiac. What else you see here?
Well,
how many languages you see here?
Ooh, okay, there's a question. Well, I see Hebrew.
This is Hebrew. Gdim,
Yes.
Mosnaim, the
I see
months of
Greek.
Tishrei.
There's Greek over there.
You see Greek? Wow,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
I see
2 languages here in this synagogue. Okay, so before you leave, one thing that you should look at it here. First of all, you see 2 main languages, right? You see the Hebrew inside the zodiac, the Virgin, the Lion, whatever, and the name of the month, Tishrei, Cheshvan, and you see Greeks outside. 2 spoken language, Hebrew and Greek. Where is the Aramaic? Well, Aramaic was written like in Hebrew. Okay, and Hebrew was really pretty close to Aramaic. But Aramaic was a language of the poor people, the countryside people, and the Greek was the language of the aristocracy. Okay? Then we're looking at the mosaic floor itself. You see a lot of colors. So they have to concentrate stones from many type of rocks all together here. The poor mosaic floor has less colors. The rich one had more colors. Okay? Then you see another thing. The stones are really small. This mosaic floor was made from small pieces. So it's a lot of work, but you can get into details. So this is a professional one. To pay for such a big mosaic floor, you need a fortune. How you get a fortune? From the people that donate the money. So in Greek, you read the thanks to those families, those persons that donate the money for this synagogue. Okay? Another thing, we see the lions, we see geometrical things here, right? But we see faces. Look, a spring or Tammuz has I won't say goddess because it's a synagogue, but a face like a goddess with a Roman dress. Look, the toga, whatever they call it, with the knife to work in the field because this is the month to harvest, right? June. And then you have other faces of other periods, even a male over there. And you see inside of the zodiac, the principal one, let's say Hercules or Jesus. Are you sure this is a synagogue? Are you sure? Yeah, you have menorah. You have menorah over there. You have the 2 menorahs, symmetric ones, and all kind of tools that the high priests work in the temple. It's so well known from other synagogues, and yes, we're sure this is a synagogue. But how come inside the synagogue you find what you find here? And I didn't decide if it's Jesus or Hercules yet, but something in the with a heel around it. And what he's holding in a hand? What is holding in a hand? A ball. What is this ball?
In the hand is the earth, is it?
is theirs.
Okay.
How come? How come? Let's talk all together about it.
Okay. Let's go up.
Find a place. It's a wonderful piece of mosaic floor. Many colors, small stones, a lot of details. Remember the details. Remember the Greek. Remember the Hebrew. Remember the faces. Remember the earth from the hand. And think about the location. Oh, what a nice location. It's a hot spring. To go to pray to God, to learn a page from a Mishnah, and to go to the sulfur pool. Yeah, then to have a pita with hummus and trina, and once again, that's life. One last thing, because
We have a question also here.
Okay.
Helios is in the center, but he had the whole world in his hands.
This is difficult for me to answer, but I'll try to answer. The Greeks believe that we are living on geoid. Geo, this is the formation, a round one. Yeah? And they even calculate the radius and the diameter and the equator line. They made all those calculations. I can tell you how they did, but not now. Then Christianity said, no way. The world is flat. If you go far away the ocean, you will fall down somewhere. Right? And they even took Galileo Galilei to meet the Inquisition somewhere. They never tortured him. When the stories about him, they torture him, and somebody listened that he said, "Ve'af al pi chen noa tanua," even so the earth moving, and not the sun. It wasn't correct. It wasn't correct. They never tortured him. He was wise enough when he saw the equipments there in the base of the Inquisition Palace to sign that everything he said and wrote is nonsense. So he signed that and he was sent home. But the church didn't agree that you are living on a geoid formation. So whenever I go and I see Jesus or Mary in the front of the churches with the bowl, with the earth, I wonder, how come? Whenever I open a book and I ask the local guide, and they are surprised that somebody asked it, said, "Oh no, it's not the original one. From Renaissance on, they changed it." This is the answer. So when Jesus holds the earth as a rounded shape, it's not the original one. It's after Magellan complete his trip around the world. Okay, 1520. But here we follow the Greek culture. They had the earth as a geoid, right? And if you open the Gemara, Masechet Shabbat, it's written the earth is like a bowl. 2,000 years ago, go to the Jews, to the books of the Jews, I think they follow the Greeks. They didn't want to have the shapes or the culture, the statues, but they follow the science of it. Okay?
Now, if the Pope were to visit Tiberias, he would say, "That looks just like what I have in the Vatican." You all figure it out. Let's go.
Keith,
Yes.
please give it to me in a few minutes, my friend.
Yes. So here you have this ancient synagogue that was uncovered, and at the floor of the synagogue, which shocked everyone, is this picture of the zodiac, and in the middle of the zodiac you have a picture of Helios, the sun god. And this particular synagogue was built around the time when the Jews had fled Jerusalem. They were being persecuted by the Romans. So as they're amongst being persecuted in that community, they made a decision. Let's send the message that we've got a little bit of what they got and a little bit of what we've got, because here you see the menorah and you see other images from the temple. And so they basically did the mixture game where they mixed both. And in the end, they actually ended up leaving this community, and we're actually in a spot where very possibly this is the last place where the Sanhedrin met before the calendar was created in 359. But this picture on the floor is the thing that shocked me, that you would actually have in a synagogue, a Jewish synagogue, a legitimately Jewish synagogue, an image of Helios, the sun god, surrounded by the zodiac.
When we were standing up there talking about this, you made a controversial comment in regards to the messianic movement in the States in connection with what we're looking at now. What was that?
Yeah, what I said is that in many ways, as I look at this, you've got a community that's saying, okay, let's take the best of both worlds, the best of Judaism, the best of the Roman way of worship, and mixing it. And oftentimes in the Messianic movement, what I find is they take a little bit of the Judaism, a little bit of the Christianity, and say we've got the best of both worlds. And really, I don't see how you can do that. In terms of Scripture, it doesn't exist.